Hello Heavy Metal Maidens and Masters, I'm Heavy Metal Mama and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a review of the Killstar Sinstress Sandals, but before we get to that, remember to like this video, comment down below to discuss any of the things that come up in the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and thank you to all of you that already do. Hit that notification bell so that you can find out whenever I upload, and welcome. So, the Killstar Sinstress Sandals. Now, I have the Demonia Dynamite 101 star, I think they're called, platforms. I made a video about them last year. I will put a link up there and down below in the description. They are gorgeous, quite possibly the most comfortable pair of sandals that I have ever owned. It's gonna be a sad day when those die, but you can't wear the same pair of shoes every day with absolutely everything. If nothing else, it just gets a bit bland and boring. So I wanted some more sandals. Now, last year, I think it was after I'd bought the Demonia Dynamites, you know, I was just in the market for another pair of sandals, and I bought the Killstar Death Valley shoes, but it was prior to my YouTube channel. It was so sad. They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful, but they've got so much hardware, like metal pieces here, the Death Valley platforms, that I got them home, I put them on. They were so uncomfortable. I couldn't even stand up in them. I mean, they, like, just doing them up was agony. Then when I tried to stand up in them, I was like, there is absolutely no way I can even just sit and watch TV in these, let alone move anywhere. So I had a little cry about it. I boxed them up and I sent them back to Killstar, and it cost me like £20 as well to send them back to Killstar. And what was even worse was 2 weeks later they ended up on Kate's Clothing's website. I was so furious because at least if I'd bought them from Kate's Clothing it would have been free to return them. So when these appeared, I was like, well, they've got that Death Valley look about them, but they don't have all the metal buckles and stuff that sit on your, like, your ankle knobble, if you know what I mean. So I was like, these are a better contender. I waited and Kate's Clothing got them. So I used my discount code. By the way, the discount code for Kate's Clothing is METALAugust15. Use that code until the end of August. I will be bringing you a new one for September, so it's down in the description as well if you want that. Gets you 15% off at Kate's Clothing. I get to use it too, it's great. So, I used that code, so I got 15% off. Well, actually, I think I used the previous code that I had. I used a code. Anyway, I used a code. I got some money off. I have to admit, when they turned up, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. So I'll go over the shoes and then I'll explain why and then what changed my mind. So they are, as always with Killstar shoes, faux leather. They have a 3-inch, that's an 8cm heel. I would say that this is about a 2.5-inch, maybe 6cm, yeah, maybe 6cm platform at the front. So they have a very, very slight rise, but it is almost negligible, which I kind of find comfortable. I think, to be honest, I'm so used to wearing heels, I actually find it more comfortable to have more of a rise. But that's just me. I'm short. My husband's 6'5". I will do anything to add a few extra inches on. So they have this gorgeous skull hardware, which I must admit I absolutely love. They also do a handbag with this skull on. They do a choker with this skull on. Really, really love it. It's then got these 3 buckles here, which actually, if you look really, really closely, they're little bones and they've got texture to them as well. They're very cute. I'm very, very impressed with them. They look really sweet. The buckles work as well, so you can adjust the size, but then they also have this handy zip, and it really is very, very handy. Very, very handy to get on and off, because once you've set the size of the ankles, you just use the zip to get in and out. So I'm definitely very, very pleased with that. I mean, there's not much else to them. They don't have some serious notches in the sole, which is great for grip. I wore ours to the local country park the other day, so mine have got great big chunks of stones and wood in them. But yeah, they're great, they're comfy, they're clompy, but they've got to give you a little bit of height. Now, it's this gladiator style that I wasn't sure about. So I got them, I tried them on, I was really excited, really excited. I tried them on and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep them. And because somebody, I think I'd filmed an Instagram story of it, and somebody had messaged me and was like, oh my god, are they amazing? And I was like, I don't think I'm going to keep them, I think I'm going to send them back. And they were like, oh no, why? So when I got them, I put them all of these holes, there are, hang on, let me count, 1, 2, 3 holes in the buckle on each one. I put them on, and quite frankly, it looked like my legs looked like sausages. They was like, I mean, I've got chunky ankles. I am not a skinny ankled girl. I've got the ankles of at least a clothes size up, and I've always had that. My mum used to go on and on about it as a teenager. You know, it's just, I look like somebody's chopped my leg off halfway down and then stuck a foot on the end, you know. That's just my legs. But it looked like sausages sort of squidging out of the sides of these holes. And where I'm short anyway, I do find that anything that goes up my leg, I have to be quite careful in that if it really is very tight to my leg sort of thing, it makes my legs look shorter. So I basically waited till Heavy Metal Hubby got home, and I was like, they've turned up. And he was like, oh, you're not happy? And I was like, I think I'm going to send them back. And he was like, let's see, let's see. So what we did was we put them on, and he said, I can see why you don't like them. But then we were like, well, it's that basically there's not enough holes on these. So there's only 1, 2, 3 holes there. So he was like, look, put them on, undo these, but just like place them through so that it looks like they're done up, but they're not done up sort of thing. Do they look better when they're loosely done up? And it looked so much better. When there's a little bit of gap in between, they look so much more flattering, and they were much more comfortable to wear as well. So we've got a hole punch for like belts and shoes and things like that, and buckles. It does all sorts of things. It does rivets and things as well. But so I was like, right, we need to make the decision. Am I going to keep them? So I went upstairs. I tried on loads of different outfits, found some outfits that I thought looked amazing with them. And then I was like, right, sod it. I'm going to keep them. Let's do it. So we put an extra hole in this one, and I put 2 extra holes in this one. So this one now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We were meticulous and even measured the gap between the holes because I am that much of a perfectionist. So this one has 3 holes, the original 3 holes. This one has 4 holes, and this one now has 5 holes. I now really, really like them. I must admit my Demonias are still my favourite, but I do really like these now, especially if you want something a bit flatter or something like that. They do still give me blisters. So the first time I wore them, I got a blister on my right ankle from this strap bit here. Annoyingly, we were literally walking down the village to get some eggs, so I had to hobble the whole way back home. The second time I wore them out, we were actually at shops because we'd gone to get the children some new school shoes. And so I managed to nip into Boots and buy a load of blister plasters. They were a game changer. I actually got a blister from another pair of sandals that I again had worn just to the shops, and it gave me a blister on like the side of my big toe. So when I wore these the next time, I had to put a blister plaster on because it was already raw from those sandals. But these sandals were the best bet because the Demonia sandals literally sat right on where the other sandals had rubbed me raw. Yay! I've found that blister plasters, definitely get yourself some of the blister plasters. I actually found the Boots own brand ones are better than the branded, is it Compeed ones? Yeah, really liked them, and they were cheap. They're lovely shoes. So I'm a 5, and I got mine in a 5, and I think it fits really, really well. They're nicely made actually. I'm quite impressed. I am picky with Killstar shoes because I know a lot of people have had problems with like the creepers and things like that. So I have the Winona Western boot. I have the Evelyn going out shoes, the Stevie shoes. Most of my going out shoes are Killstar shoes. So again, I was like, these need to be day-to-day shoes. You know, I've got enough once a month type shoes from Killstar, and I must admit they are comfortable, but it's this ankle strap. If you've got wide ankles or you're worried about the ankles being too tight, you might need to beware of this. Potentially put your own holes into the strap. It's kind of up to you as to whether or not that is a problem for you. I mean, I definitely have thick calves. It's just my thing, you know, so it's fine. But yeah, it definitely, I very nearly sent them back. The Death Valley ones that I had previously last year, even if we'd made new holes in them, it was because the hardware was metal and it was sat directly on your ankle bone. And where I have chunky ankles, it was just grinding into my skin. There was just no way I could wear them. Whereas because these have got this faux leather piece in here, obviously it doesn't rub on me in the same way. So, you know, if it does start to rub a little bit, it tends to be if you've got hot and slightly clammy feet that it rubs though. So, you know, you just either got to keep your feet cool or put a blister plaster on. I really like them. They're not my favourite shoes, but I definitely like them. I wouldn't have paid full price for them. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to use a voucher for them as well. I am definitely glad that I ordered them from Kate's, because I was seriously debating whether or not to send them back. And the cost of sending them back, if I'd sent them back to Killstar and then the eons of waiting for them to actually refund you the money, I'm glad that I bought them from Kate's. So yeah, I really like them. They've definitely still got them at Kate's. There's actually annoyingly another pair that have just come out that I was like, oh, they're quite nice too. But yeah, you know. Now, I am pleased with them, but not enthralled with them. But I think, you know, if you're in the market for a flatter pair of sandals, these are better than the slides that they have, I think, because they'll keep your foot in better. And I've heard the slides are very narrow. They're not the widest. I've got quite wide feet, and if they didn't hold me there and there, I think my foot would slip over the edge a bit. I'm definitely slightly wider than the average, but I'm not got massively wide feet. And, you know, I'm a size 8 to 10. It's not like I have chunky feet, you know. I just don't have slender lady feet, you know. But I don't have hobbit feet either. So, you know. These are nice. They're not my favourite, but I would recommend them. I wouldn't be screaming from the rooftops for everybody to buy them. But yeah, they're a good solid pair of shoes. They're my B choice. If I could only choose one pair of sandals to keep for the rest of eternity, it would be those Demonias, hands down. If you want a pair of sandals, I'm pretty pleased with them. I've had a chat with a few people in the Killstar Addicts Anonymous group on Facebook, which feel free to join. We have the Killstar Addicts Anonymous, we have the Alternative Fashion Addicts Anonymous, we now have the Necessary Evil Clothing Cult, and we have a Punk Rave group as well on there, so feel free to come and join any of those groups. We would love to have you. But yeah, I've been chatting to a few people on there, and yeah, the general consensus seems to be that they're a nice pair of sandals, but they're not the greatest pair of sandals ever. But, you know, there's a lot of that sort of discussion on there. That's why we have the group, so that we can all talk about these things. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it, please. It really helps my channel, and thank you very much to everybody that has already liked the video. If you would like to comment, discuss anything about the sandals, have any questions about them at all, please feel free to comment down below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that you can find out whenever I upload. And remember, people, stay heavy.